good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Hope everyone's good today. Welcome to another episode of Today's Debate, where we're honoured to be joined by, well, what do we call you? Spurs fan royalty. Mr. Richard Cracknell has joined us.
Tottenham pest.
Pest.
Thank you for the I'm very well, thank you. I was intrigued by your intro where it said deep discussions and great guests. So why you've got me on, I'll never know.
Listen, we've got
very nice of you to invite me along, and evening to everyone.
Crackers, we've got to draw them in, you know, so we have to tell them like lies and stuff, you know. That's what
keep them guessing as to
that's what advertising is all about. Yeah,
exactly
keep them keen.
Exactly that.
Offer them the fool's gold. That's what I say.
Exactly.
All Spurs fans are great, Richard.
Yeah,
we're all great. All the
exactly
you know what?
We was just moaning to Crackers about the weather, and he was telling us that he's over in sunny Spain. So you know, that's straight away a black mark on his card. We've marked your card already, Crackers.
We're going in my notebook, Crackers, on the bad side. I've got
sorry about that.
The naughty list.
Sorry about that. Someone's got to live here.
Mia, how are you doing tonight?
Cold. I've got layers on because it's bloody freezing, and obviously where I live by the sea as well, we do get a nice bit of a sea breeze this way. So yeah, a bit chilly.
Yeah, Elly, how are you doing? You all better and fighting fit?
If I was a fella, I'd be freezing my ends off, wouldn't I? It's like -10.
Yeah, it's freezing. It is absolutely freezing. But and Crackers, obviously. What's the temperature like there? Is it warm or is it still quite chilly?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good all year round, to be honest. Even in winter, it gets, I suppose, down to about 18 degrees, I suppose, is about as cold as it gets. And so never really much above 30, never really much below 20. So it's all right. It's pretty good all year round. Doesn't get too stinking hot, doesn't get too horribly cold. So yeah, it's all right. Lovely. Nice place.
Yeah, lovely job.
Sorry about that.
And all the paella you can eat.
Yeah, exactly. Just a few things to cover tonight. Nothing too serious, nothing too strenuous. Just going to cover a few things about what's been going on at Tottenham recently. I'll start off with you, Crackers. What were your thoughts on the Manchester United game? Seems like ages ago now.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Mixed emotions, really, because I feel like we could have and should have won that. But then you look at the injury list, and then, of course, Tottenham being Tottenham gets an illness running through the camp as well, only at Spurs, isn't it? So half the players were out and the other half were sick as dogs, apparently. So, given everything where we are and what's been going on, it was a decent point, but it could have been more. But I don't know. I suppose that's credit to Ange, really, that he's taken, the hobbling and walking wounded and those that are going to be surplus to requirement, and they're still wanting to run through walls for him. So, overall, you take that. I think, given where we are. But wouldn't a win been nice? A win would have been absolutely unbelievable. So, but look, it's just we are so short into Ange's tenure, even versus that mob down the road, and he's been there 5 years now, and we're a point off of them, level on points roughly, and it looks like we're going in to a good trajectory and a good direction. So I'll take where we are overall. Of course, you look at games individually, but you do have to look at things a little more holistically and over the course of a few games and what's what. So yeah, I was overall pleased with it. I'll give it a could do better. in some, or could have done better, really. But yeah, overall.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What I will say is, you're right. It would have been amazing to win, but we were that close to losing it at the end. If McTominay had put that ball in the back of the net, it was now biting times. Elly, obviously, we've had time to reflect on the game now. Any further thoughts from you on the Man United game?
Just like if we were at school, it would be reading the report card, could have done better, like Cracker said, right? Because we dominated the possession, we were the better team, we moved the ball better, we created more chances, we done everything better than them. Just put it that way. But the scoreline doesn't show it, because we should have won the game. But you know, sometimes you don't get what you deserve in football. Sometimes you have to take the knocks and then just move on. But at least we're staying in touch. That's the main thing. With a very weakened side still. Yeah, so we've got to go again. We've got to get some more injuries back, and then I think we'll push on towards the end of that season. I think we'll be still in the mix. And like I said the other day, Kate, I said we're winning the league. Come on, you Spurs.
Mia, what about your thoughts on the game? Any further thoughts on what happened?
No, I just sort of agree with what everyone's been saying, really, is that although we had the better possession, I felt like we didn't do enough with that possession. We were way too slow, especially in that first half. I don't think we did enough. And having all the possession doesn't necessarily mean anything unless you do something with it. And overall, they had a really good chance at the end to win, and that would have been gutting if they would have won that, and we would have lost all of the points. So it just shows we didn't really do quite enough in that game. To come out Old Trafford with a point when we don't often win there, I think is good, and we've got 4 points overall from them this season, which again is very good, which we don't always do. So for me, it was a good point, especially that midfield, because that midfield really concerned me when we saw the team come out. And I said a draw is what we can hope for, and we got the draw. So I'm happy. That's good for me.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with everything you've said. Who was? I mean, I'm going to start this off. My man of the match. I don't think it's actually that easy. I'm probably going to say Benny, because I thought he was, and he got the goal. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to go with Benny. Mia, who was your man of the match? I don't think we took. I can't remember if we talked about it.
Do you know what? This is difficult. I think it's either between Porro, Benny, because I thought they were both good. I know Destiny got an own goal, but I thought overall he was very good. So it'd probably be out of one of them, and I don't really know if any of them were that good to sort of say, they were my man of the match definitively. So I'm giving it a third to each of them.
Yeah. Crackers, who was your man of the match? I think we've got a delay.
A little bit of a delay.
Oh, blimey. Yeah. That is a way. We really are a team. Sorry if I keep dropping in and out. It's tough one. Very, very tough. Do you know what? I actually really enjoyed Udoji's performance. And he absolutely pocketed Garnacho in that game. And for a lad of like 21, 22 years old up against a really decent player in Garnacho, he absolutely bossed him. I'd also have to say, not man of the match, but a real tip of the hat to Oliver Skipp, who does divide opinion, and a lot of people think maybe not for the future and an Ange player, but he come in and he done really well. And even though Man U are not the Man U that we all remember, it's still going to Old Trafford and it is still Manchester United. And he's gone now, and he done a decent job. But overall, Udoji for me. But they're just such a team. They're such a unit now that it's no longer. It was Harry Kane again this week, wasn't it? It was Harry Kane again this week. Harry Kane, man of the match. Now we just look like a real unit that just all works and does things for each other. So, but yeah, I did like you, Doji.
Yeah,
He was fabulous.
Lovely.
he was good. What about you, Ellie?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, right, I like Bentancur, right, because I just think he's so graceful, elegant footballer. He moves off the ball so gracefully as well. He gelled us as a team. Every time we looked like we're going to slack, he picked us up. So he was doing a lot of that. But also Romero, because I thought Romero really stepped up in the second half. So I'm going to do what Mia did, and I'll split it between Romero and Benny, because his balls out of defence and the way he commanded the defence as well. All right, the first half, he put his arms behind his back. People were saying, yeah, but, like he's like once bitten, twice shy with Romero. I won't defend that he puts his arms behind his back, but, he's been caught out a few times with the old handballs, hasn't he? So he's got that at the back of his mind. But the way he steps up in that second half, and Benny, he was just sublime, class, brilliant. I love him. I think he's the best midfielder in the league, and I'm not joking. I think he's the best midfielder in the league. Not by a lot of talk, but he's just got all the elements that you want in a midfielder.
It's
and
a
he's
bold
got leadership
statement, Ellie.
qualities as well. I think he'll be our future captain as well when Sonny hangs up his boots. If he stays that long, hopefully nobody will snap him up off of us. But I do like Benny, and I love Romero's second half performance.
You put Benny above Madison.
Yeah, because the way he gels everybody together, he doesn't just play for him. He bonds everything from the front to the back, from the back to the middle to the front. He's a man of all seasons in regards to bringing the ball out as well. And he's just a general in midfield. And he makes people look better than what they are. He does. He brings players into the game, and his movement off the ball is fabulous. Yeah. I look for that because I was a midfielder, so I know what I'm looking for. But you know what? I just feel Romero deserves a mention as well, because he was fabulous in that second half as well. Yes.
Smithy, I'm with you. For me, Rodri's the best player in the league, but I'll let Ellie get a little bit overexcited. We'll allow it.
He's a different midfielder, isn't he, Rodri?
Yeah.
Phil
P in the super chat saying, "Does Crackers knows what he's let himself in for?" I've no idea what he means at all.
Neither do I, Phil P. We're good girls. I don't know what you're talking about. We're nice ladies.
We're
baffled.
Jimbo with a super chat as well said, "Crackers, what do you think about Timo Werner joining us?"
Good question.
I think Crackers might have froze. Let's click our fingers. He might come back. No. Warning, Queen Ellie has her eye on Cutie's balls. Hello, Phil P. Another super chat and rather rude one.
See, now who's being rude? I never made any comment about it when she said about Cutie's balls. Do you know what I'm saying? I was very well behaved.
Yeah.
I don't know if Crackers knows what that even means. That Crackers sueles de something in Spanish.
Mia's going to do something else with his balls.
Crackers cuales de equipo en España. No idea. I have enough trouble with English. Crackers, are you with us?
He's frozen.
No, I think there's movement.
He's like Højbjerg in the midfield.
Extremely slow. All we need now is for him to fall off his chair.
I had to get that one in before anybody else does.
Do you know what? I will ask your question, Jimbo, but it is on my list anyway of questions to ask. So, my niece is back in. Big up, Amelia. Big up,
Amelia.
Right, Amelia.
Can't go through all the comments because obviously we've got Crackers on as well. But thank you to everyone coming in. Please make sure you smash the likes on both channels. Mia's channel's pinned to the top of my chat, and my channel's appeared. No, my channel's pinned to the top of Mia's chat.
Yeah.
Can't talk properly. So yeah, make sure you smash the likes on both. Thank you everyone that subscribed today. I got to my 900 and Mia smashed through her 1200. So we are flying high. The ladies are taking over the world. Jimbo saying hello to me. They love you loads, darling. Big good day to you, Dragon D's Nuts. Chris Peters. Love the background. When Benny glides, everyone watches Poetry in Motion. I love Benny, but I think it's a stretch to say he's the best midfielder in the league. But everybody's opinions.
In my opinion, the way he plays, I love that type of midfielder. I love Rodri as well. Don't get me wrong. I love Rodri, but he's not my type of midfielder. Benny's my type of midfielder.
Do you know what? I think that he is a really good midfielder, though. I don't think he's the best in the league, but I do. When you watch him live, Kate, I think when you see him actually in person playing, it is beautiful to watch. Like, oh my God. I remember when I watched him at the Everton game and I was saying to my brother, I was just like, oh my God, Benson, God, look at the way he has that ball and he turns and everything about him is just amazing. Yeah. So,
Jimbo with another super chat saying, well, at least Ellie's moved on to a proper footballer.
Yeah. Do you know what? There's something about Højbjerg that I like. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it.
Neither can I.
Neither can we. We think you need to go to Specsavers.
It may be because I met him in the restaurant and he was so nice to my daughter. You know what I mean?
So if you'd have met Oliver Skip in the restaurant, you might have been Queen Ellie Skip.
No, I'm not going now.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Congratulations, girls, absolutely smashing it. Thank you, Phil P. Woo! West Ham losing, yes. Jimbo did say that.
Well done, Bristol City, isn't it?
Bristol City, yeah. Oh my God, that would be nice. And Crackers has returned. Big up, Crackers.
Yay.
It's all this living in foreign climate.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all this going about living in hot places. I'm going to come to you first, Crackers, in case you disappear again.
Am I back?
You're back.
You are.
Oh, don't. Yeah, just everything collapsed in on itself. Just everything. Boom. There was a question in Spanish, but I barely saw, and then before everything just completely collapsed. I don't know what it said, but there was a question in Spanish. There we are. Okay, Crackers. Equipo en España. Mi equipo en España is Sporting Gijón. I'm a Sporting Gijón fan. They're asking who's my team in Spain. So second division team I follow, Sporting Gijón in the north of Spain.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That could have actually meant anything to me. I didn't have a clue.
And of course, my hometown team, of course, which is Tanajo. My lad plays for them, so
nice.
I do watch them as well. Go and see them. My lad plays in goal for them. So
nice.
but it's Tottenham, really, isn't it? It's Tottenham, and only Tottenham, to be honest. So just the 49 years of following them now.
Wow. Is it? Are you from Tottenham originally, Crackers, or near Tottenham, or
not far? Originally from Hackney.
Okay.
So I did live in Tottenham for about 2 years in the mid-80s. My dad ran a pub. He was the manager of the Bull on Tottenham High Road, which I'm sure a few of the older unwise heads will remember. So I lived above that for about 2 years, in the mid-80s. So always been around London and its environs. But so that's my backstory.
Yeah, well, thank God you chose Tottenham and not that lot up the road.
Yeah.
We definitely wouldn't be having this conversation.
Well, Orient.
Yeah, Orient. Yeah, that lot. Crackers, for you, did the Man United game show that we need reinforcements in midfield, potentially wingers? I mean, for me, it showed that Højbjerg and Skip, even though Skippy had a decent game, just proved that they're not cut out for this system. I mean, do you think we're going to get any more reinforcements in January?
Oh, sorry, I lost you a bit there. I think I got the question. Yeah, midfield, we do need. The thing is with Ange Ball is he needs. You need pace. You need some stickability. You need athleticism. I think during his tenure, be that 4, 5, 6 years, whatever it is that he gets, we might see quite a big turnover of players because it's very, very difficult to play in an Ange Postecoglou team season in, season out. So we may well see quite a big turnover of players in, players out. We definitely need some legs in midfield. Conor Gallagher, I do like. I know that there's been some links with him. I think he would fit in perfectly. But I think firstly and foremostly to play under Ange Postecoglou, you have to be the right type of person, not the right type of football. Him overlooking somebody much better at football than another. You know, if it's tight and you've got two players, he would, I think, take the better personality and the better person than the footballer to fit in with everybody. He's all very much about the dressing room and the team unit. So I see somebody like Ivan Toney. I couldn't not see him fitting in at Tottenham at all.
No.
And he's a fabulous striker, but I just don't see him as an Ange type of personality, somebody that he'd actually rub along with well. So, but yeah, we do need some more personnel, definitely in midfield. But these things do take time. You know, you've got, as we're seeing now with players, you can't just go out and buy players anymore. If you do, you're going to fall foul of a lot of the FFP rules and etc. and spending more than you bring in. So to bring players in, you've got to get players out. And if nobody wants to buy them and they're on big contracts, they're going to go nowhere. You know, they got given contracts. That's their living. So it's you know, it's going to take 3, 4, 5 windows really of bringing in players, getting players out, etc. But what we've done so far has been excellent. You know, the players that we've managed to move on and the ones we've brought in, the last few players we have brought in have all been hits. They've all been really, really like good players that we've utilised. A lot of that's down to Paratici, just identifying the right type of player. So if we continue in that vein, in the next 2-3 windows, we should start to see something of a team that we can really hang our hat on, to be honest. It's an exciting future, I think.
Yeah, I would agree. Ellie, do you see anyone else coming in, or do you want anyone else in? Is anyone you got your eye on?
Yeah, I want to see us get a top striker, to tell you the truth, because we're a bit shy in front of goal, aren't we?
I don't think that'd happen in January if it did happen.
I think they'll have to wait to the summer now. But I really do like Conor Gallagher because I think he's a box-to-box midfielder. He's got the energy to work the Ange system more than Højbjerg and Skip. You know, they're good players, but they're not good enough, right? Conor Gallagher is a step up. And I'd like to see us get another couple of a right wing back and a left wing back to cover, because Sessegnon's not coming back real soon. Look, he's already ill again, right? It had to be him who caught the bug as well. You know, I just feel we need strengthening all round, not just the midfield. I think we need strengthening from those right back and left back. Because if Porro gets injured, we've got Emerson. If Udogie gets injured, we've got Davis or who's the other one I just mentioned, Sessegnon. Yeah, and that's it. Perisic can't play anymore, so we've lost him.
Well,
So,
it looks
we
like
need strengthening all round, but it's going to take time, isn't it? Like Cracker said. It's going to take 4, 5, 6 windows to get everybody out and all the new ones in.
It looks like we are going to try and get rid of Sesto because we got told today that he's not in Andrew's plans.
No.
So, Joe, what I think is going to happen, if we've got an injury, we can always put Van der Ven there and the Dragon and Romero in the middle. That's your best option. Yeah. That's your best option to do, because I would trust Van der Ven more than I would any of the others. So
100%.
He would be the one. And I think maybe that's what Andrew's possibly got in mind until summertime, and we've got a bit more room, because don't forget, it's all about room in the squad as well.
I know.
Because you've got to name the squad. So I think that's probably what he's thinking. But the interest in Gallagher, I don't know if we are going to get him, to be honest with you. I do think it's going to be a bit of a push to get him, to be honest.
It's going to be difficult.
Also, it's I read today we're not going to get Phillips. Apparently, Calvin Phillips isn't on our list to get, but we definitely have got other players we've been linked to. Like, there's a young guy we've been linked to today that I saw. I don't know if he's one for the future. The what? I'm sorry.
Is it the Wolves player, Gomez or something?
No, we have been linked to him, but that was a couple of days ago. I spoke about that. But we've been linked to another one, a Leicester player as well. But he's like a more of a winger midfielder, attacking midfielder. So we have been linked to loads of different players, to be fair.
It's a tough one. I mean, I know Tottenham away saying that we sold Kane and have bought in Solomon on a free, Timo Werner on a free, Brennan for 50 million and Valise for 5 million. How's this good enough?
I know, the front, we didn't reinforce the front line, did we, really, with quality?
No, exactly that. I mean, Crackers, you must agree that when you look at the team that was up against Man United and you see Johnson, Ritchie and Werner, it doesn't really terrorise or strike any sort of fear into an opposition. You know, when you saw Kane and Sonny up front, you were like, whoa, now we've got those three. For me, anyway, it doesn't make me think, wow, there's loads of goals coming here. Wait for the signal to get over to Gran Canaria.
It's. I think he's looking to maybe get. I think he's looking to get goals spread around more. Sonny's scoring up until he went away to the Asia Cup had been decent. Richarlison's returns have started to be decent. Look, if the right striker isn't available, then I think it's prudent to wait until one is to go in for. It's a tough one. We've seen when we go in and we've not done our due diligence properly with players like Undembele, 60 million pounds we've spent there, and it hasn't worked out. So it's a tough one. How do you replace Kane? And if a player if Kane wanted to go and try his luck elsewhere and new challenges, new horizons, then you have to let these players go. You can't keep them against your will. But really decent strikers just don't grow on trees, and everyone's looking for one at the moment as well. So it is tough. So I don't know. I don't think he's doing so bad without one at the moment. But if you could bring one in, then certainly the money side of it, obviously within FFP, which has all of a sudden now found its teeth and found itself a bit of an arse to deal with things. If you can bring one in, and the money is big money, but we have got it. Be under no illusion, we have got that money, and that should be and rightly spent on a player that could fire us on to the glory and get us. I don't know. An FA Cup would do for starters, but regular into the Champions League and then see where we go from now. Really, but yeah, the right player, not just a right now player for me. I think is probably the prudent way to go forward.
Yeah.
Do you know, the one thing I will say is that we're the third highest scoring in the league. So it's not that we don't score goals. I think it's sometimes against those low block teams is where we struggle to score goals because we haven't got like the creativity without Maddison. So I do think that part's missing because to be the third in the league, and I think only Liverpool and Man City are above us. I don't think we're doing badly with goals. I think it's just the creativity side sometimes when it comes against low blocks that I think we struggle.
Yeah, and do you know what as well? I'd like to add to what Mia just said. Like if you've got either a fox in the box or someone who's got credibility in the striker's role, right, and he will score you goals, you'll get more victories. You'll get yourself over the line because that's what Liverpool do. They've got so many strikers of a good, really high quality who are scoring regularly, right? And they get up, they nick that win, don't they? Yeah. Like they'll nick it and they'll get the 3 points in the bag. Whereas we have done well, but we've lost matches because of injuries. But if we had that striker, we might not have lost so many of those matches, do you know? Because we were waiting for Richie to find some form and he's just about found it now, right? But I do think we need to do our due diligence on this striker that we bring in because I reckon 100% we're going to make that our first priority in the summer. Not now because we've got Werner on loan. Let's see how he does. He didn't impress me against Man United. He got in good positions, but he was very wasteful.
Yeah, well, that was my next question about Werner on his debut. What I will say is we seem to be buying for the future rather than for the now. Obviously, Brennan Johnson is only a youngster. He's got to get into his role. I know Werner's a lot older, but I'm still baffled by the signing in a way. I didn't see it coming from anywhere, and I never really sort of would have even considered having him at Spurs because I never rated him at Chelsea. But we are trying him, and if he doesn't work, we can just send him back. It's not like we've gone out and spent 45 million on him. As far as his performance, he got an assist and didn't do much else. I don't know what your thoughts were, Crackers. What did you make of Werner at the signing and his performance?
Well, I think he's had something like 15 minutes football so far this season in Germany. So he's come in, he's gone to Old Trafford. Okay, you could argue Man U not quite at the races at the moment. Got an assist, was a bit wasteful in front of goal, but it's very hard to judge on a first game, isn't it? I know some people come in and hit the ground running, like Mido scoring on his debut, Eric Dyer even scoring on his debut. But I thought he done okay. But for me, bringing Werner in is a no-brainer, to be honest, because, like you said, it was a buttons loan. A player that knows the Premier League, bags and bags of pace, which is what Ange wants and needs for his system to work. And if he doesn't work, then thanks very much and off you trot. And if he does work and really does well, he's not great big money to actually buy. So it's such a low risk loan. I can see the reasons why it was done. Whether there's somebody else coming in through the ranks or somebody else that they look to bring in permanently, then so be it. But yeah, as a standalone case for what he's actually cost us to bring in and the obligations with him at the end of the 6 months, it was a no-brainer for me to take a look and see if he works out. But he was okay. I mean, getting an assist on your debut, then happy days, really. For me, he done okay.
Yeah. Mia, what did you make of Werner? on his debut and the signing in general? Have you got high hopes?
I don't think I've got like high expectations. I think that 10 GA for me, I would say is reasonable for the next 6 months. I think that's what he's been brought in to do. I believe that he was a needs must signing. So we needed someone to help out because everyone's dropping like flies. And we don't forget, I think he probably would have played Felice more if he was okay. So I think that was the plan. I think the plan was to have Felice there. But because we didn't, I think that Werner was a bit of a, listen, we need someone to come in to help contribute, especially in these times. He's not going to obviously cost anything apart from the wages. So I feel like it was a bit of a needs must. And instead of wasting money now and just bringing anybody in, I think this is probably a bit of a safe loan, because then in the summer we can sell. Maybe we will be selling Richie. He can go back out. Obviously, we're not probably going to keep him. It's very unlikely. I think we're going to keep him, but then we can then buy that striker. So I think that it was a bit of a kind of needs must kind of thing at the point. I think.
Yeah, I will say sorry, Ellie, before I come to you.
All right.
This comment says Werner was looking for that goal to regain his confidence. To me, he was too eager and needed to relax. Yeah. We did see that with Richarlison at the start of the season. He was trying too hard. Once the goal went in, he kind of relaxed a bit, didn't he?
But that's what I said, didn't I? In my instant match reaction, I said he was trying too hard. I said he was so desperate to score, to prove a point, that he just looked to try hard. Like he wanted to prove that point so much that he made the wrong decisions at times. That's how I felt about him in that game, to be honest with you.
Ellie, what are your thoughts on Timo, or Turbo Timo?
Yeah, he's a winger, isn't he? He's not really an out-and-out striker. He plays more on the wing. So my expectations for him, having seen him at Chelsea, we've got to draw a line under that. We've got to sort of give him a chance, because he's done very well in Germany. He's got a very good strike rate. But as a winger, if you get an assist, and his movement was very good, I must admit, he made himself available. He pressed the ball when he could, when he had to, And he was he was very wasteful in front of goal, to tell you the truth. But we've seen that when he was at Chelsea. So, it's what your expectations are of him. If you're putting him up on a pedestal, you're going to be disappointed. But if you're thinking, he's going to come in for 6 months and do a job for us, that you won't be disappointed, because that's what he does. He's a decent player. He's technically very good. His vision is quite good as well. He's got good vision. And I like him because he's a hard-working player. He's not one just to go and hide. He made himself available. That's the main thing. And he got the assist. So you can't ask for more than that.
Yeah, I think it's a case of waiting and seeing. Like no risk.
Yeah.
Try before you buy. We haven't really got anything to lose, so it might surprise us all. There's a player in there. We've seen it before. It's just whether Ange can drag it back out again.
Yeah, on the shooting practice.
Yeah. On to our other signing, Crackers. What do you make of the Dragon, the beast who has signed for us? It seems like a good signing to me.
Yeah, he's very, very decent. Young. He's my sources from within the club tell me that when they saw him, he is an absolute unit. By the way, they just could not get over the size and strength of the man. I don't know. Did you see the video that Tottenham official put up, and he was in the gym with Richie, and they were pulling a resistance band against each other, and he pulled back against Richie, and Richie just gave him this look as if to say, like, what was like, he just apparently he's an absolute unit. So look, he's unbelievable in the air. I've seen some of the reels of him in the air. You're just not going to beat him in an aerial duel. He can play right back as well. He has actually played in the right back position, so he can play sort of either side in the middle of the set and right back. I like him. You know, there's a few clubs in for him. Obviously, with Bayern Munich looking, he's a good. He's a good prospect. So look, we know we're going to lose Romero every now and then for disciplinary reasons. That's just the nature of Romero. Where I live isn't really a Spanish culture; it's more of a South American culture in the islands, and you see the nature and the way that players play. And Romero, he's just got that in his locker. He just has to play on the edge. He has to play angry. If you was to lose that from his game, you'd lose a lot of Romero, to be honest. So he can come in and cover, and that's what we need. We need some squad depth, and I think he's a fantastic prospect and signing. Let's hope he can get to grips with the Premier League, get up to speed, and if he fulfills his potential, then I think we've got a really, really decent player on our hands there.
Crackers, you said something funny there. Did we see the video of him in the gym with three ladies? Of course, we watched it several times of Dragusin in the gym, and I shall watch it several times more. I'm not going to lie.
Romero as well.
I've got to admit, if I'm ever feeling a bit sad, I just watch Romero's one. I just watch Romero's one back and watch him with his shirt off and be like, oh, so nice.
All I've heard people say is that that we've seen him up close, he is an absolute beast. He's massive. Elly, obviously, I'm guessing you're delighted with the signing.
I really am. I think he's going to be fantastic for us. And because he's versatile, you think if Romero picks up one of his reds again, we've got him to cover. You know, we never had nobody before. We had the 18-year-old youngster who Ange hasn't played, and then Eric Dyer, who's gone now. So there you go. So I'm excited to see what he can bring to our team. You know, his aerial ability is fantastic, like Crackers said. And he's decent on the floor as well. I've seen some of his tackles. He times them really, really well, which I was very impressed with. So I'm really excited, and also I'm wanting to see who he links up better with as well. Or will we play the three and push Porro up and let him play right back? You know, you don't know what Ange's plans are, but if he does do that, it's going to be because he thinks he's going to get more out of Porro going the other way, because Porro's fantastic when he goes forward. You know, we won't lose anything from the team. Just put it that way, because Dragusin is a proper defender, whereas Porro's had to learn that role, and he's learned it very well. But there's still a little bit of, you know, I always think there's always a little bit of doubt with Porro's defending, you know, but the stats show something different. But I always feel like he needs a bit more help. Like, you know, when Kulu plays, he gets that help. When what's his name? I've forgotten his bloody name now. Anyway, yeah, I just feel he's going to be a very vital part of the cog of the team that Postecoglou's building, you know. So I'm so excited.
Yeah, I get that. Mia, same. Are you feeling the same sort of vibes from the Dragon?
Yeah, absolutely. If anybody knows about Harry Potter, he reminds me of someone who goes to the school, the one that comes over. Is it Hamstrung? Something like that. It's called. That which reminds me of, because he is like an absolute beast. He looks scary. Like you wouldn't want to meet him in a dark alley, because he looks really frightening. But that's good. We want people to come up against him and be frightened. Like, oh, dang, we're going to have to face him. So, yeah, I'm over the moon. Yes, Drumstrung. Yeah, that's how you say it. I don't. Yeah, it's Harry Potter. If you don't know about Harry Potter, then you don't know. This ain't more review. You should read it.
Brendan Johnson, that's who I meant. Brendan Johnson. I couldn't get his bloody name out.
It's called him BJ. It's fine.
He was so anonymous again.
Yeah, I wonder why you know that. Why you would think of that one, eh, Kate? If I speak, I'm in big trouble.
Yeah. I agree with you there. He does look like him, and you've got to put the fear of God into the opposition. You know, you can't be
Yeah.
softy.
No, that's right.
My husband's making a confession here that he's watched the Dragon in the gym and he's a man. So there we
Well,
go. Confessions of
go.
my husband live on air. What can I say?
But he's honestly very good in the air, very good on the ball. He's actually quite quick. He's obviously not as quick as Van de Ven, but he's got loads of really, really good attributes. And he's a kind of bit of a mix of both Van de Ven and Romero in a way, with the way that he is. So I think that actually he's probably the perfect one to come in and obviously fill in if one of them needs be. So or to mix it up or whatever which way we're going to do it. So yeah, absolutely, I'm really, really pleased.
Yeah, because
Well,
I was going to say Toby Alderweireld didn't have that much pace, but he had the head, he had the brain.
Yeah, he was smart.
Anticipate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, that's what apparently Dragusin's the same. Dragusin's he's a very clever player, from what I've heard, and that's what you want. And like you say, you don't have to have pace, you can be smart, but he's also very strong as well. And I don't think he'll be bullied off the ball. So if we do have to come up against the City, I think that Haaland, if he had Dragusin and he had Romero, I think he'd be crying by the time he comes off that pitch, because he'd be like, wow.
We'll get him some tissues as he comes off.
While we're on the subject of defenders, Crackers, I'm just going to ask you, just out of interest, with regards to Romero, do you think he's a bit of a liability, or do you love the passion that he brings to the game and like that type of defender? What's your thoughts on it?
Oh, blimey. That's a tough one, because he has a game like he did on Sunday. And I thought he was fantastic on Sunday, and he was mature, and he kept his head, and he was wise. I don't know. It's a real tough one. I'm just hoping that he actually settles down and calms down a little bit in those moments when he goes. I thought getting the vice captaincy might actually be that moment. But we've seen that it wasn't. I think he was unlucky to get that red card. I think he's got a little bit of reputation now that precedes him. So on balance, he's a keeper, and if you do have to lose him for a couple of games here and there because he has got a red, then so be it. But that's the importance of having a squad depth, isn't it? If now we've got somebody in Dragusin that can come in and cover if he is out, then that sort of softens the blow a little bit. But in games like the Chelsea game, he's just got to learn that maturity. He's got to keep that energy and that aggression, but he's just got to channel it right. He's got to do it right, and hopefully that will come. But again, a lot of this will come down to just his mindset as a South American. It's a way a lot of them do play. There's so many of them that play that way. They're just so on the edge. So they play emotionally quite a lot. I see it here with the kids playing. There's quite often a scrap, or there's a tackle goes in that really shouldn't, and it all gets a little bit spiky. So we're all products of our environment, aren't we? So but yeah, I really like him. He's a quality defender when he's on it. But I can see the flip side of the argument of you can be the best in the world, but if you sat in the stands for 2 games because you've lost your head and got a red card, then I'm just as good a defender as him. So, but on balance, yeah, he's fantastic. He's a fantastic footballer.
I do agree with what someone just put in the chat. I do think when he's got Van de Ven next to him, he's calmer. And I think we saw that in the first part of the season, the first 10, whatever it was, games when they played together. And whether it's because he knows that if he's got someone there to mop up, if you like, whereas when he's got someone who's a little bit weaker next to him, he feels like he's got to make those challenges. I don't know. I switch and turn with Romero all the time. He drives me mad because he's such a good player, but he just makes me worry, and I just feel he's a bit of a liability. I'm not going to lie.
No, you called him a bozo before. You said he's got a bozo
he has
gene.
got a bozo
Bozo gene.
Yeah, he has got the bozo gene, I think.
No.
Slagging off my Romero. How very
When
dare
you
you?
see Van der Ven do those sliding tackles, he never takes out the player, but Romero studs up. It's like, oh my God, but I'm just a bit more cautious, I think. That's what it is. These days, you can't get away with anything anymore with VAR. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Well, apparently you can, because there's a challenge the other day that was a boot on the leg, and they didn't get anything. They got a yellow for it, when if it was Romero, would have got a red. So I don't think the referees are always exactly consistent with it, let's be honest.
True. And what Johnny Evans done to Højbjerg, elbowed him in the face.
I wish he'd have done it harder.
No, do you know what though? All right, that's fair enough. But do you know what? Right? If that was Romero, he would have got sent off.
Yeah,
he probably would have.
He would have, 100%. He would have got sent off because he's got the reputation, like Cracker says. It precedes him, doesn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. But do you know what else I wanted to say quickly is because Dragusin's coming.
Yeah.
It's put pressure on Romero, and you see he was more mature in that match.
Yeah.
Because he's thinking at the back of his mind, if I go and do something stupid and I'm out, this boy's going to be in for 3 games, right? So he's got that pressure now to behave himself, because when he's on his game, I just think he's awesome, Romero. He's fantastic, not just at pressing, but he's passing out of defence. He's brilliant, so... He's got that pressure now, so he's got to behave himself.
Yeah, that's what you want always, competition for places. That's what we need.
It creates a really good environment as well, because they're all vying to get into that first 11.
Yeah,
I've got to agree with Steve D. Johnny Evans was just trying to help us out.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Johnny Evans was saying, "Don't worry, we'll get rid of Højbjerg."
He's our player. He's getting so much stick, man. Oh. You imagine if he was a gooner. Flipping hell. Like he's a gooner.
Stell from Tottenham Away says, give Crackers this £5 to buy himself a pint. Poor bloke having to listen to you ladies talking about your Dragusin fetishes.
I never said I liked him, to be fair. I never said that about him. Not my type.
Nothing wrong with that, is there, Crackers?
I tell you what, you can actually get hammered on a £5 over here, to be honest. No, nothing. You knock yourselves out. I'm enjoying this, but like I said, that £5 I could actually get hammered on that. The beer's so cheap over here. So
I could get hammered
very
on
much.
£5
Only buys me half a pint in London, doesn't it?
I know.
And Jimbo,
after a £5.
Jimbo evening up the super chats.
Oh, bless him! What a lovely guy.
Romero's our gladiator. Yeah. Mia's type isn't tall, rugged, and handsome, or should that be?
No, because he's saying because I said Dragusin isn't my type. Like, he's nice, but there's like just I don't know. Like, it's just not for me. Obviously, Romero's my guy, so I'm loyal.
I know we're going a little off subject here, but the reason I like him is because he looks like a Viking that'd just get your hair and drag your hair and throw you on the bed. And that, well, I'm not going there. Too much information.
Yeah, but Romero looks like he'll slide tackle you onto the bed.
I'm on a Spurs podcast now.
Yeah, we always get distracted by good.
I feel like I'm in an OnlyFans chat now.
That's our other channel. We'll get you on that one next time.
Don't worry, when Bobby K comes in, it'll be Pornhub.
Oh wow!
Unmonetized, Ellie, for goodness sakes.
I'm no distraction to you, ladies. Then.
Crackers. We're halfway through the season now. Where do you see us finishing realistically?
Whoa, wow! There's a $1 million question, isn't it? look, given the injuries we've had thus far, it's quite amazing we are where we are at this moment. I don't know. At the start of the season, when we'd lost Kane and Postecoglou's coming in, who was a bit of an unknown quantity. Okay, he was at Celtic, and they were gutted to lose him. I did just kind of said, look, if we get some decent football and we finish above 8th where we under Conte, then for me that was progress. Really, a manager's got to have a couple of seasons to get over his philosophies and get the players in that he needs. I know people don't get a couple of seasons, but I'm a bit old-fashioned like that. I've been really impressed with what he's done and where he's taken us thus far. If we can get back the likes of Sarr and Basuma and Maddison, and then get Son back, and one or two others, if we can keep players fit and well, which is going to be a challenge in itself, I can't see no reason why we don't finish in the top 4. I don't see anybody we can't beat on our day with a full team and we're at it. I really don't. But that's on a day basis. At the moment, City look like they're doing what City normally do, and they're getting personnel back and they're pulling wins out of their backside that they've got no right to be. So I can't see past them for the title. But if we get top 4 this season, man alive, that is real progress. That is real progress. It's then down to the club to see what's been done in one season and back this man. They do have to back this man. This window thus far, I'm hoping that the winds of change are coming because we've got a couple of players in early. We are still the only team in the Premier League to buy a player. Everything else has been loans. So let's see if we can bring in a couple more players in this window, get top 4. Then in the summer, we really do have to back this man and get some personnel in and start having a good serious tilt at a few competitions. So far, so good. Angie's fantastic. We've got some fantastic players in now. Fans are always fantastic. It's over to the board. Are you going to step up and bring yourself to the same levels that your players, your manager, and your fans are showing? Let's see what happens. But I'm hopeful. I'm fingers. There does appear to be a bit of a sea change in how we do our business. Just a small bit, but going the right way. Let's see. I think we finished top 4 this season. I really do.
I like it. I will say I don't think I can ever remember Tottenham bringing in a couple of players before the 11th of January, I think it was. I mean, that's got to be a change in itself. I still can't get over it. I keep thinking it's a dream. So maybe Levy's learnt his lesson and the tide is turning. Ellie, I'm going to ask you see if you're going to go with your funny answer you gave me the other day or whether you're going to change.
No, because talking about dreams of my ESP, obviously I did see us lifting up Postecoglou, giving him the bumps in my dream. So I'm hoping that dream comes true. You know, you've got a dream as a football fan, haven't you? It might be a deluded dream. It might be something that comes true. But what I do know is if we repeat what we did at the beginning of the season, we'll be in the mix. And then it's who's got the bottle to go that extra mile. We've seen Man City do it 6 out of 7 times. So the big money is going to go on them, isn't it? But like I said, if we're still in the mix, anybody's game then is who's the bravest to take that title. you know. But if I was a betting woman, it would be on Man City because they've got all the minerals, haven't they, in every single department. If not them, it's going to be Liverpool, right? And then we might finish third or fourth. But I'm hoping that dream where we could run on the pitch and give him the bumps as well, girls. Like I said the other day, we can help out with it. Because he's our big teddy bear, isn't he, Anne? So
He is. We love
let's
Anne.
see what happens. Nobody knows what's going to happen.
Exactly.
We can only go on what we've seen before, that Man City get it over the line. So I don't know. I'm hoping that we can. And do you imagine me and Jim if Spurs win the league?
No,
We'll
I
be
can't imagine.
unbearable.
I can't imagine. Mia,
Yeah.
where do you see us finishing this year?
I don't know if I've changed my mind really, because I said 6th, 7th, didn't I? I think the most we're going to get is 5th. I think I just don't see us getting that top 4, but I think I'd still be, that would be over my expectation. If we get 4th, that'd be well over my expectation.
Yeah.
My problem is though, is that with people saying we need to be in and around the mix, challenging. Some people say that even the year that we lost it to Leicester, that we weren't really challenging. People say the year that we lost it to, was it Chelsea? Was it Chelsea? Yeah, Chelsea. That we weren't really in the mix, because it depends on what you quantify as being in the mix or being there or there. You know, but I think it is a bit subjective on what people class as a title run. Do I think we're going to win it this season? Absolutely not. I just don't think we've got what it takes. In the future, do I think we'll be there or thereabouts and pushing? I would hope so, because I think that Postecoglou has got what it takes as well, and giving him the right tools, I think he will push for that, because he's a manager who wants to have those high expectations. So I think that the future's, hopefully, if we give him the tools that he needs, is going to be a bright future for us. I really do see that.
Yeah, I said I wanted us to get any sort of Europe this year, and I'll still stand by that. I think I said 5th as well, because I still think Villa, and they're a strong team. I think a lot of people are writing them off. I think they're a really strong team. If we get Europe, I'm over the moon. If we get Champions League, it's unbelievable. But it's the future. I just see, it's nice to be able to see what's coming. We can see the philosophy. We can see what he's trying to do. It just needs to be backed. And we've seen it so many times in the last 23 years that we're on the pinnacle of something, and then he doesn't get backed. So if it's all really down to Daniel Levy, what happens from here on in my opinion, or the team that Daniel Levy's brought in, you know, whoever. Because with the right tools, I've got absolutely no doubt in my mind that Ange can win multiple trophies at Spurs, but it's whether he gets the tools that he needs. And he's not going to be a manager that demands we go and spend 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 million on a player. He likes to find these gems. So
what's your thoughts, Kate? Some people say that you can't win a league without those type of players, though. So we do have to have those players.
Well, Leicester did. I know they're an anomaly.
Yeah, they're not. They're more like the exception than the rule, aren't they? Let's be honest.
They are, but I'm not sure if that's true. I'm not sure if that's true.
Leicester bought a lot of players, but they didn't buy star players, like Mia's alluding to. Yeah, like Liverpool bought Salah and they bought Van Dijk, and they've won the Champions League and the league now. So to get yourself over the line, I sort of agree with that you do need at least one or two big star players just to take you over that line, you know.
Yeah.
Or do you as well?
Or do you think we've already got those players in our team that are not just stars yet?
I do.
Would that be the case? Because that's obviously another factor. But people might say that's still not enough because of the experience. They have to have the experience of winning. Although we have got players in our team. Obviously, we know Romero's won the World Cup. So we haven't got players that are completely devoid of not winning. However, that's where people say that you need to have those type of players, if that makes sense.
What do you make of that, Crackers? Do you think we might already have the foundation and just need to add some gems, or do you think we need to bring in some superstars?
I think we've very much got the foundations of something really quite special. It needs to carry on being that. It's a tough one because if you spend a lot of money, it doesn't equate to success. You only have to look at Chelsea. You can't just throw money at something. You have to have the right manager, the right blend, the right atmosphere around the whole club. Everybody has to be on board with it. There was talk of with the goalkeeper and we should be going for Raya. We should be going, for this one, for that one. And then we bring in a young lad at 16 million quid that nobody's ever heard of. And now you wouldn't swap him for literally any other goalkeeper in world football. He is a sensational goalkeeper. So this is where you've got to get these blends right. Look, if the right superstar comes along and wants to come, they've got to as well. This is the other thing that you get. The players do have to want to come. So it isn't just about throwing money at it. There's a lot more variables and everything you need to put into the blend. As I go back and say 60 million for Ndembele just never worked out. And he's a sensational footballer, by the way, but he just doesn't want to apply himself. And then you bring in a player that could be like 15, 20, 25 million and absolutely tears it up. So it's difficult. It's a difficult blend to find and get over the line. What you've got to have is a chairman that leaves the football to football people. That's what you need. He needs to go and get the best in class in your backroom staff, in your talent spotting and your scouting and your director of football, and then leave them to it. Leave them to identify. And you have to go with what they say, if they've identified somebody and the manager wants them and the funds are there, then away you go. It's all about, as Ange builds this team, which looks like it's progressing, he has to enable that. He has to allow that. Will he? I don't know. Some of the comments have said 23 years of him not would suggest otherwise, wouldn't it? But I do have to say that Daniel Levy did see this FFP storm that we're currently in. He did see that coming, and we are now sat in a really decent position to spend and spend well within FFP, whilst others are now falling foul. So I don't know if he kicks on from here as a chairman, because others have fallen by the wayside with what they can spend, and he goes out and does a few quid on the right players, then it might just have been a real genius masterstroke. Let's see. None of us have got a crystal ball, but yeah, everybody within the club has to be pulling in the right direction, and your talent spotting and everything has to be spot on. So let's see. It's looking good thus far, but this is Tottenham.
Exactly.
Joe,
exactly
I would say is when I was listening to this discussion, the comment was, oh, but you need to go for players that City go for, that Liverpool go for, that Arsenal go for. And I was like, but we won't get them players above them. That's the problem. We have to also understand our level. We have to go for a certain level of player possibly. And yes, we do need probably certain type of players, but they have to be like what Cracker said. I always said that the jigsaw puzzle pieces have to fit all together. The manager, the players, the board, everything has to be fitting together. And I think that hopefully this is what's going to happen, and that Levy will step away, leave the footballing to the footballing people, and make sure that he make sure this team gets pushed forward and not go backwards or stand still. And like what Cracker said, could he have been a bit of a genius by sitting back, watching all these people spend all that money, knowing that FFP was going to come and bite them in the backside? We don't know. Let's see if it does come. If it happens and players and the teams get points deducted.
To be fair, like him or loathe him, he's a fantastic businessman, Daniel Levy. But I think all Tottenham fans want is for him to just leave the footballing decisions to the footballing people.
Absolutely.
But the way he runs the club, the fact that we're so sustainable, that we've got this magnificent stadium, you know, people might hate it. Yes, we haven't got trophies yet. But, you know, who's to say, like you say, he didn't see this coming and he's now thinking, right, we're in this brilliant position and everyone else is screwed. I wouldn't like to judge Daniel Levy. He's a far better business brain than I'll ever have. So we're waiting to see. The proof will be in the pudding.
Indeed.
And it's good, like we're following the sort of Man City model, because they were nobodies. And then they got their investment. Listen,
but the whole point is, though, Ellie, they might have cheated. But what your point is going to be negated by the fact they might have cheated to do all of that. If they get found guilty, they're guilty. So we don't.
That's another story.
Well, no, because that makes the way that they obviously made the money.
What I'm trying to say, their model was they got the money, they got the power, and then they started winning the trophies, right? And that could all fall back, like what you said. It could all fall through. Yeah. Right, so we've got to do a model where we're not doing what they did, right? And we do all the right things, but we don't cheat, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, their court cases in October 2024, and they're going to be found out. They will be, all right. But we've got to build that foundation, and then we will. If we're winning trophies and we're successful, we can lure those players. We've got a better chance.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, we have got a better chance of luring those top.
Yeah, no,
top
definitely.
Players.
I'm not saying that I'm not saying that it's impossible, but we have to have the right the right things sort of in place to be able to do that. You know, I think
the
that's where I'm
foundations
coming
are being
from.
built now by Postecoglou, which
that's
I love.
right, and that's what I'm saying. Those foundations.
Yeah, and
no,
also
absolutely.
the style of football is going to attract players in. Yeah, because everybody likes to play in a forward-thinking team, you know, and the way we're playing, we're getting all the plaudits, aren't we? Everybody's talking about us, so that's a good thing. Yeah, I'm excited about the future now. See what Postecoglou can bring to our club, and if he brings us trophies, that's going to be the cherry on the cake.
Still, I don't agree with this. We need to get real nobody's beating City or Liverpool to a title unless we go big on class. I truly believe if we had our full squad, we would be sitting top of the table. I don't think either of them would have been above us. If we hadn't had any injuries, I do believe we'd be sitting top of the table.
We proved it at the beginning of the season. That's proof in the pudding. It's not like we're playing something out of left wing.
Yeah.
We were 8 wins and 2 draws in our first 10 games. No one was touching us.
Yeah. And I also just say about what Steve Deere said, but you know, our wage structure, that's actually helped us out massively with the FFP thing. So all these other teams with these mad wage bills, like the teams that want to just keep paying loads of big wages to get players in, that's going to come back to bite them. So in a way, I know our wage structure, we did have players on big wages, but they've obviously now gone. And if we get Perisic is the next one that's the biggest earner, then I think because we give a lot of bonuses. Apparently, ours is a lot of our wages are back bonus based as well. So I don't actually disagree with the wage structure. I know that some people might say, well, if you want a big player, you've got to play in the big bucks, but that doesn't always work. Again, Ndombele, example, we paid him the big bucks, we paid big bucks for him. How did that end up? You do have to be a little bit careful.
He's in Turkey and we're still paying his wages, aren't we?
We've still got to scout. We've got to scout correctly if we want these players worth a lot more money. That's what I would say. And now that player, the 16 million we paid then is more now, if that makes sense, because inflation. So
I like what Steve Perriman said. He said the manager sets the tempo of the club, right? It gets everybody on the same page, working for one another. Yeah. You're not late for training. You're professional. You do your job. Yeah, that's the tempo at the club. and that breeds success. It does, because we saw it under Birkinshaw, we saw it under Nicholson. We want to bring those days back. Yeah, and this manager, I think he's got the right credentials. Yeah, because we're seeing so many good things that he's done at our club already. In 5 months he's been here. Yeah, and he had a rotten pre-season as well. The worst pre-season you could wish on any manager. Yet he's pulled it out of the bag, and we're sitting 5th in the league, level with points with Arsenal, who everybody's tipping to win the league. And we're level 1 points with them, with a depleted squad as well. Yeah. That's my rant over.
Obviously, the last subject I wanted to touch on, that's the word. Obviously, Crackers, we got the draw. We got Man City in the FA Cup. Of course we did. But we did get them at home. Their ground they can't score on. You know, we've got, I think it's a week on Friday that we play them, I believe. How do you feel about drawing them? What do you think? Do you think we're going to smash the granny out of them again? What's your thoughts?
I love that saying, smash the granny. Brilliant.
I think it was invented by Wayne Rooney, weren't it?
Look, to win an FA Cup, you've got
Oh my God.
Oh man, I'm disassociating myself from that comment straight away. Look, if we've got the right personnel back, we've got every chance. You've got to beat decent teams generally to get through to an FA Cup final. If we're on our game, we're a real bogey side to them, aren't we? They're fans. Yes. They feel like us when we go to Chelsea or when we play Chelsea, and they have this thing in the back of their head about Tottenham, and it seems to run through the club like it does with us and Chelsea. So we can do it. It is the FA Cup. We can do this. If everybody's at it, and we got to be at it against them because it looks like they're hitting their stride. So we get through that, then happy days. Then everyone's going to think, oh, hello, they mean business this year. Tottenham's a team to take a look at. So let's see where it ends up. It's the cup as well. Who knows with the cup? It throws up some crazy old results, but we have got it in our locker to beat anybody on our day. We are a match for anyone. Fans turn up, get behind the team. If we've got Maddison back and a couple more in the personnel back as well, then we've got a chance. We've got a real chance. Who knows? I mean, they're talking about Haaland not he's injured. I've got a feeling that he all of a sudden appears. De Bruyne's back now, who's a fine footballer. He may well get rested because he's not got 90 minutes in him. It might just be we catch them where we've got the right personnel back. They're missing a couple, resting a couple, and away we go. So every chance, but the cup's so difficult to predict, so difficult. But I fancy us. I do really fancy us. I think maybe we should bring Ricky Villa back. Bring Ricky Villa back. Just bring him out onto the pitch before kickoff, and I think it would just put the fear of Christ up them. To be honest, they'll regress, wouldn't they? They'll just regress. They'll all be sat in a corner, rocking and sucking.
I think
in their thumb, remembering Ricky Villa. So every chance. I fancy we'll do it.
We should send
Come
Ricky
on, bit
Villa,
of positivity.
Ricky Villa along with Dragusin to go. You all right, mate? You feel all right? Just to have a little word with him. I think that would be wicked.
Yeah. Ellie, what are your thoughts on the FA Cup then?
Well, I told you that I put it out before we got Man City. I said we're going to get Man City because I saw it. Like, I've got I'm sure I've got ESP, Anyway, I just think we've got this voodoo doll somewhere underneath the stadium, and like it's got Pep Guardiola's face on it, and we're poking it because they haven't even scored at our new stadium, and we are their bogey team, right? And we beat them in 1981 in the cup final as well, which was a fabulous game. What a game that was, right? But I just think they come on the pitch, they play. They had so many chances when we beat them under Nuno as well. I think they had 28 chances to score, and the ball just didn't go in. So there's definitely a voodoo on them. So, and I think we've got the minerals to beat them. We've got, if we get all our players back, especially Maddison is the big one, isn't he? So, you know, that gives us an awful lot of more credence if we're going to get this win over the line. You know, and I just feel that thing. They go on the pitch and they're quite nervous. They've got it at the back of their mind that they haven't scored. And look, if you're going to win the cup, you've got to knock out the best teams. And if we knock them out, we're not just doing ourselves a favour. We're doing our other teams a favour as well. Yeah. So yeah, come on Spurs, do the business.
I just got this feeling in my head we're going to knock Man City out and get Liverpool away.
Oh no!
Don't curse it. If that happens, Kate, that's coming back on you. Do you know that?
Yeah.
And I'm going to get a voodoo doll off you. I've been told I'm a bit of a witch. I used to have a black cat. I'm a bit of a witch, so don't underestimate. I'm putting curses on you if you think that happens.
Do you think we will progress, Mia? How do you see it? I know a lot of it is obviously dependent on whether we get our personnel back. I know a massive part of it.
Yeah, I think if we've got Maddison back, I do think we'll be all right. I think that we will beat them. I think that, I don't know, I still think they might score at our ground. I think they're going to break the hoodoo at our ground, but I think we can beat them 2-1, something like that. I think it'd be a very close game, but I do think we can beat them. And I think that we would have got them probably at some point anyway. So for me, I kind of feel like it is what it is. Like, I feel like we can't change it now. We've got to go out there and play them. So I think if we've got someone like Maddison back, I feel more confident for sure, because I feel like creativity will be much like improved with Maddison on the pitch.
Yeah, I agree. As Gary Mabbott said when he did the draw, if you want to be the best, you've got to beat the best. His little face when he drew out Manchester City, I thought he was going to shrivel up in a ball.
He was glad he didn't bring out Coventry. That's what it was.
Yeah. At the end of the day, if we beat Man City, the next one is Liverpool. You know, we've got to beat these teams to win a cup. It's as easy as that. It's in the hands of the gods. Let's just hope we've got our full team back. I know we drew with them anyway, but with a full team out, like a full team back, I don't see why we can't beat them. And I don't even see them scoring. I think the hoodoo's going to stay there. I'm going for a 1-0 when it comes round if our team's all together. I'm going for and Tottenham to win the cup.
If we get Liverpool, I want to get them in the final so we can beat them in the final. We've lost 2 finals to them. The League Cup in 82, I think it was. Yeah, or was it? Yeah, 82. And then we lost to them in the Champions League, and they done us something rotten with that handball, didn't they? That little Mane, the little cheat.
Yeah. Obviously, who's our midfield? It will depend on who the personnel we have available. It would be lovely to have Madders back. He's going to be a massive sort of will Saul be back by then? He won't, will he?
No.
Depends how Senegal do.
Well, it depends.
He's gone over with Senegal, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it depends. They had a good win the other day, 3-0, I think. It was yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're doing well.
I think if we've got Kulu back, for me, it'd have to be Kulu, Madders, and Benny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's over the moon with that.
I think you need a defensive midfielder like Basuma to come back.
But we haven't got one.
Has he gone away with his country as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, with Mane.
But we need one of them to go out, don't we?
Well, I don't know, because even if they do, I think that they're going to be jet lagged, and I don't know. Like, I think I would play them. I think that Kulu's strong enough. I think that he could. I think he can play in that position, and I think that he would help out because he holds up the ball a lot as well.
Yeah, against Manchester City, he played fantastic, and he was like a central defensive midfielder role most of that game.
That's what I'm
he
saying.
Was picking the ball up from the defence, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think he'll be fine there. That's why I would play Kulu, Mads, and Benny.
Yeah,
he's used to defending as well because he does so much with Porro on that right hand side, isn't he?
Listen, if I see Skip or Højbjerg, I am going to lose my effing shit. I'm telling you now.
The only way they're going to play though, Mia, is if we haven't got anybody else.
If we've got everybody,
that's the only way they're going to
if Kulu and Maddison are available, and I see them too on that pitch, I'm going to definitely go to the stadium and have words with Postecoglou myself.
It won't happen. He's not that.
Without Danny Kiriakou. Danny,
that's the biggest flip flop.
Danny Kiriakou.
Danny, such a flip flop.
Danny, I've got to say that your man bun, you can't wear it like Dragusin. I'm sorry. He just rocks that man bun better than you do. No defense, no offense, but it is what it is.
Danny's better looking, 100%.
Jimbo with another super saying the double.
You see him in real life, you'll see.
I think you might need glasses.
He's a hottie.
She's lusting over Danny.
No, I'm not lusting. I'm just saying. Everybody
sounds like you are.
The men want to be him.
Everyone says he smells nice.
He's a good-looking lad.
Oi, Danny Kiriakou. You're in there with Elly, love. You're in there. You're probably related.
He knows that I like him, so I'll always pick him up.
2 attacking midfielders, not 2 defensive, 1 PA. Oh no. Look, I don't know if Crackers is coming back. I don't even know if he's messaged me. No, he'd probably have an internet issues.
Come on longer for 4 hours, surely.
I just want to say, well, we've got a minute to thank Druda for becoming a member, AJ for becoming a member, Phil P for the first super chat, Jim with a super chat, Phil P with another super chat, Jim with another super chat. Then Jim being a member for 2 months, Lynn Simpson becoming a member, thank you so much. Jimbo, declaring his love for the dragon with another super chat. Stell with another super chat, then Jim with another super chat, evening them up for Mia, and then Steve D with a super chat, and Jim again. Wow. Jim, we're going to be skint. Thank you, everyone.
He's got no money for the shopping there.
No way he wears it better than me. Ha, Elly. She loves.
See what I mean?
And he also said he's got no idea how to do a bun. It's like bun wars.
Bun wars. Chris, there should be on either channel a option to join, or if you're on an iPhone, you have to go onto your browser, put it in, and request the desktop website view, and then you can do it from there.
You can do it, That's how you become a member. I do members show, so does Kate. So get your money's worth.
Yeah, you've got your member show tomorrow morning, I believe.
Yep, tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, and then I've got my member show Thursday at 12:30. So yeah, it's worth being a member because then you can come on and talk to us, and that's priceless. I've got to tell you, you can't buy that. It's as easy as that. You'll beat
Danny Kiriakou's bun, but you can buy our love.
You're beating Man City in the FA Cup, not trying to be cocky. If it comes back to bite me, they aren't as good as they think they are. If Edison is injured,
his other goalie wasn't very good at kicking out. So I noticed that.
Jim must be back playing in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, he's doing something. I don't know what he's doing. Let's take a moment and laugh at West Ham. I believe they've had a red card as well.
Are they still losing?
Shame.
Yeah, Ben Martin got
back to West Ham. Back to West Ham.
Jim Legan Cup double worth $9,000 for me. Wow. Oh no, Crackers has got a power cut.
No.
But he said thank you so much. He said they've got massive storms, and he said he really enjoyed it.
Yeah, he's a lovely guy, isn't he?
We'll get him on again.
What a character.
Yeah, he's such a good guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to make sure. I didn't want to go off and then he'd come back and be like, "Where is everyone?"
Can you imagine? He'd be like, "Where's everybody gone?"
Exactly. Ladies, how do you become a member? There should be a join option if you're on a laptop. If not, if you go onto your browser, type in youtube.com. There's 2 A's at the bottom. Click on that. Go to the web view, web page. No, view desktop website. That's what it says. And you can join from there. There are videos. I think I've got one on my members community, my community page. I think Mia might even have a video on her community page of how to do it on an iPhone. But yeah, if you get stuck, you'd always message one of us and we'll help.
Yeah.
Yeah, money in the bank, mate. Yeah, all right, Jimbo. Don't get too confident. Cracker said he'll happily come on again. So maybe at the end of the season, we'll get him on. Might get him on the same show as Mickey. That'd be quite good.
Yeah,
that'd be brilliant.
And it also evens it up a little bit because the boys feel a bit outnumbered for us ladies. I think they get scared a little bit for us.
Yeah, but you know what? I think they like it. I think they like being outnumbered.
Yeah, they do. They like being empowered by ladies, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Mia, so you're back in the morning. Anything else you wanted to push or say before we go?
Please make sure that you like and subscribe on both channels because those numbers, they do mean something and it helps so much with YouTube, especially because we are small channels in comparison to some of these humongous channels that get pushed out a lot more because they're so big. So please make sure you do that. It really helps. I know you think, oh, well, it's only pressing a button, but honestly, it means a lot to us to have that support. So please make sure you do that on both channels. I've got Kate's link as well in mine, and Kate's got mine in hers. So yeah, please make sure you do that, guys. And if you're a member, you can come on and have your say tomorrow at 10 a.m.
There you go. Ellie, when are you next on, my lovely?
I'm on after this actually at 10 o'clock.
With Nippon?
Yeah, on Talk and Ball.
Jose
messaged me earlier. He said, "Ellie, can you come on with us?" I said, "Yeah." I can't say no to Jose. He's so lovely.
Make sure everyone at 10 o'clock you go over to Talk and Ball with Queen Ellie, Colin and Jose. They're flying up the subs as well.
Yeah,
so
they are.
Get on over there. Me and Jimbo are back tomorrow at 1 o'clock for our
list. Woo, I love that show. Are you going to do an Educating the Kate one as well?
I am. I'm probably going to start that after the season ends because I've got some work to do on it and I want to get my niece involved. So Steve D sent you a super chat, me, and said
big up Steve D. Thank you.
Steve. Thank you.
And also thank you to Niall for saying congratulations on the 1.2k. And he likes to say good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever one it is for you. That's my little thing I always say at the beginning of my channel. And
you're one where give your head a wobble. I like that. Give your head a wobble.
Oh yeah, I do still say that a little bit. I also say to people, so let's go ahead and read between the lines. Because obviously that's my little thing I go to.
So Jimbo is on here with Ellie. It's the three of us, even though it's called Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs. It's kind of just a bunch of friends that like Spurs, but that's a bit too long. Me and Jimbo are back at 1 o'clock tomorrow debating Angie's first half of the season, whether we're overachieving, can we win the league, all sorts of different things tomorrow. So make sure you join us. Ellie, you're back Friday for the preview. Even though we've already done the league predictions, we'll still preview something.
I know. I look forward to that.
Yeah.
With my little company.
Thank you so much. We've had loads in all night, which is amazing. Everyone that's liked on both channels, thank you. Subscribers, super chatters, and just people joining in the chat. It's been brilliant. Anything else anyone wants to say before we say goodbye?
Yeah, we're going to win the league. Come on, you Spurs.
Come
We're
on, you
going to do it.
Spurs.
And Postecoglou.
Come on, you Spurs. Enjoy the rest of your evening, everyone, and we'll see you soon. Come on, you Spurs.
Bye,
In end.
Pierre.